Please do a full organoleptic tasting of these two wines. You have 8 minutes. Are you ready?
Yeah, may I number my glasses?
I don't think so.
Sorry for that.
Are you ready to start?
I am, thank you.
Please, time starts.
I'm going to start with glass number one. Glass number one is a clear, brilliant red wine of a deep concentration in ruby, fading to a slight hint of Grana, maybe indicating a slight evolution of the wine. There is no trace of gas, there is no sediment. Viscosity is on the higher side, and I have a very light staining of my tears. On the nose, this is a clean, developing, beautiful red wine of quite some aromatics. You have a feeling right away of ripeness, driven by some very, very nice red fruit and black fruit. It's more on a black sherry and red sherry. There's almost a feeling of the peat of the sherry. You're evolving with something a bit more vegetal, extremely noble, think about tobacco leaf or a hint of capsicum, but also on a kind of riper, softer side. And it's finishing with some spices. Just like tonka bean, a touch of coffee, almost indicating probably some use of new barrel with a good level of toast, but extremely well handled. Overall, the wine is complex and really feel a certain maturity of the wine, as well as the ripeness of the grape and really nice extraction of the compound. On the palate, this is a clean, developing, still red wine of great quality. You have a very balance of the wine. There is the acidity, there is here, it's quite discreet, it's like kind of the tension of the wine, but what's dominates is a nice quality both of the ripeness, the balanced alcohol, probably around 13%, 13.5%, and really, really nice tannin coming from beautiful fruit, well extracted, with some tannin coming from the grapes for sure, and also kind of been balanced by the aging on the oak. I'm confirming there is a barrel here, probably very good French barrel, with a very nice level of toast, not overpowering the wine, just helping to kind of soften up this very nice structured tannin. On the palate, the fruit is a bit more sun-kissed. You still have this kind of black sherry, black currant, but you have a little bit more of that, almost like red pepper that has been just gently grilled, and it's finishing with this hint of licorice, a bit more vegetal, a bit more on that like tobacco leaf, and then the spices. Overall, the wine is balanced, complex, and long. We are around 8 caudalis. I think this is a wine that is coming from a slightly warmer site, warmer climate, but made with very noble, great variety. I think it's a blend. I think it's a Cabernet Sauvignon-based blend coming from the United States, coming from Napa Valley. I think this wine may have been done by Catholic Horizon, and the vintage would have been 2020. This is a wine I would serve at this temperature, probably around 16 to 18 degrees. The glass are perfect, kind of this slightly larger bowl. You can decant it like an hour before serving. And this is a wine you want to keep for at least 5 to 10 years if you can do so. In terms of pairing here, I would say that something a bit, a dry, beautiful piece of dry aged meat, you need a bit of fat, and you can serve it with a butter, like a tomato roasted butter, and something like a celery panna cotta would be very nice with that. I'm going to go with one number 2, which is also red, deep red wine of almost a similar robe. You have this kind of fruity feeding to a slight Grana on the rim with a thin wedge of meniscus. No trace of gas, no sediment. One is brilliant. There is a slight staining of my tears, and viscosity is on the higher side. On the nose, the wine is also clean, it's also developing, it's also very pretty. There is a certain fragrance on the wine. We are also on the red and blackberry. It's quite similar in terms of that morel, black sherry, a bit of currant. It's just a little bit more on the sour side. The fruit seems a little less intense. The vegetal is a little bit more present. You almost like you have the black currant leaf. The licorice is more here. There is almost a fern or an ivy quality. And then you have a little bit of that dusty earth, a bit of hummus finishing, and also very nice spices like tonka bean, indicating, I think, some barrel use also with a nice level of toast. On the palate, the wine is clean, sound, developing this nice, beautiful, complex, still dry red wine with a little bit more acidity. That here is a little bit more pronounced on the upper front. You have a bit of that sour sherry coming. And then you have the fruit is very pretty, it's like just right. The vegetal is more infused. It's almost like an oolong tea, going into a bit of that pepper also, but not as ripe, just a little bit of red pepper. And finishing then, again, with some very nice spices, indicating for me a very nice use of French barrel with a beautiful level of toast, not overpowering. The tannin are also very well extracted, a bit more pronounced here, as the acidity is a bit higher, and I think the alcohol is a bit lower, around 13.5%. Overall, the wine is balanced, complex, and also 8 to 9 calories. I think this wine comes from a slightly cooler climate, beautiful growing season. There is no feeling of greenness in the wine, but just nice vegetal. I think this is also a Bordeaux blend. I also think this is a Cabernet Sauvignon based blend. But this time I think this wine comes from France, from Bordeaux, from the Medoc. I think this is a Saint-Estèphe due to the quality of the tannin. It's not an overpowering vintage. I think about a beautiful vintage like 2020, combining ripeness and freshness. And the one I will serve, I said 16 to 18 here, we'll do 17 maybe, 17, 18 here. Here 16, 18 is beautiful. Same thing, I will decant the wine half an hour before. These glasses are perfect. I will also keep this one at least 10 years. And here you can probably play with something with a little bit also of fat, but more discreet. Maybe a Pithiviers would be very, very nice, pigeon. And you have just a very nice sauce of demi-glace with a bit of truffle to go with that. That would be a great pairing. If you are not enjoying meat, for example, which is more and more the case today, I would have to do for the first one a vegetarian moussaka with smoked plants, some paprika in it. You just play with the fat and the spice, and that slight sweetness. And for the second one, we can do very, very nice risotto with porcini or trompette de la mort. That could also be beautiful. These two wines, you can keep them in the cellars. They are kind of brothers from another area, I think. Extremely well balanced in the two cases. And for the Saint-Estèphe, I'm going to call Fénon-Séguin. You know, I'm going to take back some of my calls for the first one, for glass number 1, because I was kind of a little bit not ready on the alcohol level and the ripeness. I think I overgiven them, and I will take it back, in fact, to France. I will cook the same wine. I think it's the same wine, so it's Bordeaux, Lepeltier, Medoc, Saint-Estèphe. I'm going to call also Fénon-Séguin, but it's a warmer vintage. You can have more alcohol.
We have a second part for this task, and here are the instructions. Now you have 1 minute to tell us what these two wines have in common. Time starts now.
As you could have seen at my coming back to the two wines, I really think in fact they are the same producer, same wine, same blend, but they are just coming from two different vintages. One is being a warmer vintages, definitely the heat was a bit more pronounced and showing on the first one, which I think is 2018, while the second one was a little bit of a cooler, leaner vintage. That's why I said 2020. So for me, they're just the same wine, same producer, same production method, maybe a little bit more Petit Verdot. The blend is a little bit very different in the second one, because I think both are Bordeaux blend with Cabernet Sauvignon dominant, but and the difference would be the two vintages and maybe a slight variation on the blend. So same producer. Yeah, there is so many similarities.